I know how to get out of all the boxes. But I want to say welcome back to the 2B Fair Show. I am your host, Johnny P.
Over here, real.
It's Q.
And we back.
Yes, sir.
Season 2, episode 17. Got a few topics lined up. We're gonna talk about communication, effective communication and listening. You know the difference between hearing and listening.
Okay.
You know, we might get into that. What you had? You were talking about the bus driver.
That wasn't specifically what I was talking about. I think that the overarching thing that I'll hit on more than anything is that as the man in today's time, outside of your wallet, what else should you be bringing to the table to make yourself a person of value to a woman?
Okay.
I think that's
a good topic. And I feel my question today, well, not my question, my statement today is how much I love Sir A. Dot's mom, and we're gonna
unpack that.
We're going.
You know she watched the show, right?
Mama Roz, I love you.
Nah, she watched the show.
I really love you though. Like,
hey, that's not what he was talking about, Mom.
Mama Roz,
that ain't what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Then make sure you get him that 2-piece too, Mom.
No.
Hit him with the same 2-piece.
Say that same one. That's a classic 2-piece dark. That's a classic
2-piece dark, Mom.
Yeah, no, I was going to actually talk about Biden's new mortgage, the new mortgage rate plan that he put in place.
Okay.
We're gonna breeze over that.
All right, sound good. I feel like you got somebody to introduce, my boy.
Who we got in the house today?
Shoot, we got my brother. Once upon a time, little brother. Nowadays, big brother. The homie that been on the 85 South show, the producer of the Loose Leg. Drop that joint went hard. You know what I mean? Viral. We got the brother JUSWILL in the building.
Yeah.
What up, brother? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm glad to be here. I'm loving the vibe. I got a couple of things to ask y'all. See what y'all want to, chime in on. I got a couple.
And we appreciate you pulling up, bro.
For sure.
Appreciate you being in the building with us.
Yeah. So he gave you an introduction, but do you want to kind of like run down a little bit? Who is Will? JUSWILL.
JUSWILL is a nobody trying to be somebody. You feel me? Quiet kid to himself. Strictly music. Music is who I am. It's not what I do.
Hell of a trombone player.
Yeah, I was about to say he's quiet. He wasn't quiet on that trombone.
That trombone used to make that motherfucker sing.
Hey, I'm pretty sure I got jokes for days because you already know.
Hey, yo, we used to sick Willie on the other bands, yo. Just putting it out. We used to sick Willie on the other bands.
If you went to college, there was sometimes you would see, we was in high school, but if you went to college, every now and then you would see a person that did a solo in the field show. This is the guy on the field doing the solo in the field show. While everybody else playing together, he's playing the solo in the field show. Talking about that kind of talent. That house of prayer kind of talent. hey, what?
Yeah,
hey, how long?
Listen to this cat.
Hey, how long, y'all? You think it took? How long did it take House of Prayer to finish the parades? Scouts,
parades forever.
And they kept get that nigga Willie one.
Hey, yeah.
Not even. There's so many talented musicians.
At least used to tiptoe through the parade.
We was on the pre-show a little earlier. Check out the pre-show 1 p.m. every Sunday. The 2B Fair Show on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what y'all think. Give us some music. We'll play it. But you had something we touched on in the in the pre-show. We wanted to break, unpack a little bit.
We're gonna kick it off that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was pretty much saying, what do you consider a wife to be to you? Like characteristic wise. Back in the day when we grew up, and we all known each other for a while. Things were different. We looked at wives a certain way when we was kids, babies. But we all can agree, if I'm not mistaken, that the world and the time has changed. And evolution has just happened, So what do you consider a wife to be and why? And how would you choose your wife if you're not already married?
I'll go. Because, like in the pre-show, Clint say most dudes, we base up. Shit all physical attraction, we base, but when I think of a wife, it ain't necessarily like a physical.
Box him up, Johnny.
It ain't no box. It ain't no box.
Can't.
Hey, if the points to make them see, but
I'm all about to fold down. I get out of them quick.
But what I'm saying is like in my head, it's not like a physical attribute. It's not like when I think, I mean, my wife could be light skinned, dark skinned. Like in my head, I don't know who it's gonna be. But there's certain the attributes that I'm looking for. It's gonna be loyalty, trustworthiness, good character, responsive,
Can I stop you real quick?
What's up?
Why loyalty though?
I think that's just in today's world, that's damn near more important than love.
But what that means in today's world?
Boy, it's just it's the like Real say, it's the commitment every day that you wake up to make that choice to be with that person, and 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 that's what really I just want somebody to choose
My
me.
nigga Johnny be listening over there. Okay.
But yeah, I just want somebody that'll choose me every day. Bad days, good days, all of that. So, I mean, I outside of that, I can work. I can work with a lot of different, characteristics, but that loyalty is something I need. That responsibility. Me, I probably need that too. I need somebody that's gonna kick me in the ass a little bit and be like, "Hey, hold me accountable." You said you was gonna do this. This the man you said you was gonna be. I need you to be that motherfucker. I'm a person. I need that. I like that pressure. Uh, but outside of that, those what I kind of look for when I'm thinking about who I'm gonna marry, or if I'm like I find that chick and I'm gonna ask you to marry me. It's gonna be based off those characteristics.
I appreciate that. I respect that. I would say personally, I'm gonna piggyback off of you. Loyalty is the biggest thing, man, because in today's world, boy, we live in a crazy world. You know what I'm saying? Especially with women. No disrespect. I love you all. It's not,
Bro, you ain't got to preface that, John,
I'm
bro.
just
Let it
saying,
rock,
no
bro.
disrespect.
Unload, bro. It's okay to
Nah,
unload
but
sometimes.
I'm a ladies man.
Let the clip.
I'm a
Let the
lover's boy.
clip go. Let the clip go.
I'm a lover's boy. You know.
No. I like for a person to let the clip go
I'm gonna let it go.
wherever you know what I mean. Wherever we shooting
Nah,
at,
you
let's
got
shoot.
I'm a different. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Wherever
go shoot
if
that
we shooting, let's
motherfucker.
shoot. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, Will, it's safe over here, man.
Nah, we safe.
It's safe over here.
Nah, we gonna be safe, but I still
But don't let
appreciate.
them hang you, bro.
Nah, I'm gonna be me regardless. You know what I'm saying? I'm a ladies man. I appreciate women.
Yeah.
So and I respect y'all. So at the end of the day, loyalty is the biggest thing for me because depending on whatever situation you in with whoever you decide to pursue, that can be different. So many different lifestyles, so many different ways to love a person. So with that being said, loyalty, like somebody that's gonna wake up and choose me every day before anybody and put me first and cater to my needs, that's number one in every aspect. So I would say if you're not catering to, because I'm gonna do everything I can as a man, and me as a lover, I'm a pleaser too. So that's just naturally I'm gonna give me 100% of me. But if I give you married version of me, I need to give you married version of you, so I can see if we can actually be married. You know what I'm saying? But that's another whole topic I'm not trying to stray off of.
No, we hit that like
2 weeks ago.
Because you shouldn't be giving married version of yourself in a relationship.
Nah, you gotta test drive that car, bro.
Yeah, you got to. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Because if you give too much of yourself, see, I'm straying off.
Oh nah. See, I mean, the funny thing is that I think that he feels differently than we felt about because he's saying pretty much there are things that you hold back from marriage. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Some things that you hold back. You know what I mean?
You
Until marriage.
Nah, because if you give your all now, I'm not saying don't give your all in the correct way in a relationship. But if you give your married version of yourself now and it don't work, that's can be devastating to you as a person and demoralizing.
Yeah, I think the main thing of that would be unpacking what the married virgins look like because I think we all agree when it comes down like specific things financially and things like that. Nah. But if we're talking about a lot of the character pieces, like if we eventually like move in and we cohabitate, like saying like I ain't about to watch this because I ain't married yet.
Right.
Like we kind of got to test drive this situation and see if we actually are able to cohabitate properly.
See, but let's think deeper though, Q. It's not about like the simple characteristics of the everyday what you do, like gender roles. Let's not even talk about gender roles. Let's talk about what you're gonna do as a man. as a married
Keep
man.
going.
You know, so when I say that, like, how are you as a man? Like, are you going to go all out and make sure everything's squared away? You're gonna make sure your wife taken care of. You're gonna cater to her every need. You're gonna be out there grinding, working, taking care of your household as a man supposed to be what we was really raised to be. You know, from our generation. You know, a leader, a true leader. And when I say a true leader, we go out here, get it, and that can be a whole nother conversation. I'm trying to stray off on that.
You know the crazy thing is like as I'm sitting listening to what you're saying, like let's say like me as a single man, like I don't think that there's a way to turn off that. There's not like if you because the thing is that if you are a husband, you are already a husband.
Mm.
That's just like if you're a wife. That even
You already a wife.
I'm not a like religious person, but the
Great
Bible
point.
said a man that findeth the wife found a good thing. That means that she's already a wife when you find her.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same thing with a husband. So like I can't turn off that. So if I'm just dating somebody, like it's literally that leadership, all of that all
Right.
comes
That's
with
what me.
me.
Outside
That
of the
comes with
financial
me.
piece, it kind of like the character of who you are should kind of bleed regardless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
can't
hard for
turn
me
it
to
off.
imagine like a nigga turning on and off the leadership switch.
And
It's
that's it.
like how we get with women and we be like, you can't turn on and off submissive or
Yeah.
turn on and off like a lot of those
You
things.
can't turn
Because
off
when you
wife.
said like the idea of like providing and doing X, Y, and Z like to whatever extent, to me,
See, you trying to steal
See,
my
I'm
thunder.
going to my next question. I'm trying to segue to my next question.
all
No,
right,
hold on,
then
hold
we,
on. Let's
But
let's
I'm
let's,
not
let's
doing
go
that.
into
But
his first question. Let's
but
go
hold
into
on.
his first
But
question.
stay on. Give me 1 second,
all right.
Johnny P. To answer y'all good men. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So y'all supposed to think that way,
Mm-hmm.
but the average man don't think that way like us.
Okay.
Think about that, because we know what we're supposed to do as a man, but how much of that do you give in a regular relationship before you get married?
All of it. And
I
see,
think
the thing is,
all
I
of it.
understand where you differentiate. And I can't
No, sir.
understand
No.
I don't understand
So what specific? My bad.
the.
Hey, hold on. Let me ask this.
Hold on,
Everybody,
before we
I'm about
ask
to say
him more
everybody trying to get a
questions.
question in, bro.
Before we ask him more questions, you answered his initial question.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to answer his initial question,
Okay.
which was, what does a wife look like? And you saying in today's time,
Mm-hmm.
what I would say is, I don't think that based on my expectations, it's the same as it's always been.
Correct.
I don't think like as a man that I've changed my what I deem is white, like what I look for. It's still been the same as it's always been. I could even look back to
So what is that?
well, it's pretty much the idea that uh a woman that allows me to be a man. Just to think about in the previous generation, that was like the same things. A woman that because in order for you to
That's
lead, you have to be allowed to lead.
submissiveness. That's what you.
What I'm saying is that no,
That's a
let me
fact.
don't put nothing in
I'm
my
asking
mouth.
you.
Nothing in my. You sitting here talking about submission. I didn't say submission one time. So because we know these buzzwords, I'm not going with any of the buzz. We gonna go off of that. But a woman, in order to lead, a woman has to allow a man to lead. So you have to be willing to be led. That's number one. And when I say willing to be led, I mean that you have to just respect the man as the leader of a household. You expect no, you're not even you should expect to have a man to lead the household. That is one of the things that I would look for. Another thing like loyalty, like I say, and my whole thing is like when people talk about marriage, the only thing that makes a marriage work is to choose to be with the person you want to every day. It ain't gonna be no damn. You ain't gonna get to no point in a marriage where you just coasting. It's always gonna be this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the willingness to stick through. So that would be another characteristic, a person that is willing to understand that that perfection doesn't exist. The only perfection that exists is imperfection
Mm-hmm.
because we're human.
Yep.
So that understanding is very important to me as well. And also one of my main things as one of the newer things that I'll say, like as with the transition of the expectations of previous and the expectation of now, is I don't definitely a woman of worldly things.
Mm-hmm.
A woman of worldly things is definitely not what I'm looking for as a wife.
What if worldly?
Worldly things. So like the idea that the keeping up with the Joneses and always the wants and the wants and the wants. Like I ain't the wants and it's just things based living. Like things the belief that things will make you happy.
Materialism.
Yeah, materialism is exactly what I'm speaking of. So like that right there is that's not what I would look for in a wife.
Right.
That doesn't scream wife to me because you can always get a better edition. That's just like you could always find a man that could be a better that makes more money or can provide more things, and you can go on more trips. And you know what I mean, if that's what you know what I mean, if you own that the comparative and the materialistic thing, like, hey, I'm gonna set out on you for sure.
Can I add? I want to add something before I want to let you answer it, but I just want to add another question to it.
You gonna add another question?
No, hold on.
Just
Listen to me.
All right, what up?
Listen to me.
What up,
Listen to
P?
me. I think it goes. It's a compliment. It complements it.
Mm.
But we're talking about like, and this to be fair show. We like to unpack shit, get both sides. We're asking about what do we consider a wife? What about like what characteristics and are they the same for what make a good husband?
Different question.
That's another question.
That actually goes closer to where my topic is. This is why we just said
Answer
wait.
the question.
We just said wait. Johnny just literally wanted to change the entire thing.
No, I wanted to see if there's any correlation between the two.
Let's correlate afterwards.
Yeah, like
that's all.
Johnny got his off early, so he
yeah.
That's really what the shit is. He want to talk some more. I was writing down a couple things as we was talking. I do think that everybody agrees on the idea of loyalty. I think that loyalty is definitely one of those things that, I mean, you ain't really got to say too much because y'all said enough about it. There is a sense, for me, when it comes to like some specific things that I start vetting for, I do want a person of morality. So I listen to how that person talks to their friends, with their friends, and about their friends.
Mm-hmm.
So like these are like specific character traits that I really honed in on because of like they broadcast themselves over years, and you can kind of like see how this person deals in drama, how this person deals in adversity, their typical perspective on human nature, if that's a negative or positive one. I think that like you can see all that inside those conversations. So that's one for me. There is a baseline of intelligence that I want for any woman that I'm personally dating. Because I'm a conversationalist. I talk and I enjoy that part to it. So for me to get some fulfillment inside our relationship, I like to actually be able to like speak and have engaging conversations. We don't have to agree. We don't have to disagree. But in general, there's a baseline of intelligence that I would like for you to move with. There is this part where, for me, I like women that are leaders in their friend group. That don't mean you always got to be the leader, but I don't like the followers. Like, if you see the friend group,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
There's certain ones that lead the pack per se, and there's certain ones that just are following along like every single thing.
Yeah. That was
for me, I mean,
give it up for that one.
Baseline, like I think attractive. I think you have to be attractive to me for what I like and is attractive. Of course, that's not like 100%. Like there's gonna be things that you might not hit on every single thing, but there's a baseline of like certain attractiveness to me. You'd be lying if you say that's not something that you want inside your woman. A woman that can hold down the room when you're not there.
Hey, hold on. And I think before you continue, hey, you see what the benefits is of the going last?
No, I just want to see where he put physical attractiveness.
Well, I just put attractive. I just said.
You put it like fifth.
Well, no, he's not. They're not in any specific order.
Like in order.
All right. So, go ahead, bro.
So
go ahead.
Johnny, I can already see like you're trying to box me into a thing that I spoke about for average regular people, and like how most people. But no, fuck that. Also, for me, there is a barrier of entry. If I don't think you look good to me, I'm not talking to you. Yeah, let's not pretend like that's not a thing, bro.
That's initial. That's everybody. That's everybody.
Like, why are we like even
baseline though? I think all the other stuff matters more once she hits that.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't even know that about her until she hits that.
Right.
You have to figure that out first.
Johnny, you about to be on the bad legs, bro. Because it's some amazing 500 BBWs out there.
That's
500-pound BBWs with a couple missing teeth.
I swear.
And they gonna do everything you love. I promise you.
Cook, clean, take care of you.
Yeah.
You know.
All right.
They don't talk that much.
Right. That motherfucker's the goddamn work. She ain't
gonna even talk that much. And
they gonna give you the tax check at that, and get you the PS5. But let me keep going.
All them shorties be having a man. Though.
Say I digress. Go ahead.
All them shorties be having.
Not even looking for them. My bad. He's a different nigga.
He been checking for him.
All right, let me finish. I say common goals. So I do well. One, somebody can hold down a room when I'm not there. In meaning that you can be left in a room and I'm not going to feel that you're going to say something that's crazy, if that makes sense. I think it's like a simple thing that could be done with somebody that's really quiet or somebody that's intellectually solid. But just in general, I would like to feel comfortable, like leaving you in a room with whether it's my friends, my family, whoever, and no matter where the conversation goes, it's like, nah, you.
Yeah, I think we should have put
Um,
a top 3 on the joint or something.
yeah,
Top 3 or
yeah,
4.
my bad. Let me finish. I'm gonna just go quick. Common goals. I think that's a big thing. And I like. I don't have to agree with your decisions, but I do like to understand how you got to your
How you
decision.
thinking? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
That's dope.
don't forget my segue into that though. Like, so do you feel like you still should give your married version of you in a relationship?
Yes, I do because of me as like to me, I'm always trying to be the best version of me in general. So
Right.
like I don't like withhold myself in many places that I'm at all either way. So
But at what stage in a relationship?
so I think if you're like dating past like once you get into the cohabitation phase, and that's more so what I'm talking about.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like and once you're living together, I do not advocate for niggas to be paying females bills and
No,
shit
I
like
agree.
that. And like trying to overreach with somebody that you're getting to know. I do not. But to me, once y'all make the step of like some level of cohabitation, living together on some means, then I don't see why you wouldn't like start figuring out how what her way of living and your way of living is, and then seeing if those things are compatible.
Correct.
What I'll say is that I think that we should we have ideas, and see, this is one of the things too. I think that people believe that once you get married, that there's a switch that is able to be flicked on, that you become someone different. That is just false.
Correct.
Like the thing is that you're going to continue to be the same person you've been. If let's say that if you both believe that y'all, when you get married, y'all should be different. We'll be different. That shit probably last 30 days. You might get 30 to 60 days out of that, and then you're gonna go right back into who you are as a person, the person that you know what I mean, that you naturally are. So there's no this whole idea that like once I get married, I'm gonna start doing this and doing that. The thing is that if you say if the expectation, let's just say that let's say y'all believe in gender roles or whatever. You take out the trash, you fix whatever gets broken, you know what I mean, and she's gonna whatever. If she's not able to do that now and y'all together, there's not a switch that's gonna flip on consistency. It's not who you are. And that's just what it is. It's not who you are. You actually don't want to be that, because a woman that wants to be, let's say that she believes that she should cook every day and she wants to be you know what I mean? If she believes that and she's saying, I'm not going to do that until you marry me, well, are you already doing it for yourself? Because I can see if you are already doing that for yourself, where you may believe that you'll flick it on and do it for the family.
Right.
But if she's not already a wife, you know what I mean, then there's no switch that flicks on to say like, oh, now I'm married, I got a ring, so I'm gonna turn myself into a wife
Yeah.
or a husband for that matter. Like as a man, you ain't gonna just all of a sudden be a leader when you ain't led a damn thing your whole
Facts.
life.
Facts.
Go
Now,
ahead.
just to chime in real quick, I agree. The only reason why I asked that question, it's because it's a certain level at you when you do certain things, though. And I just, it's nothing wrong with giving yourself your wholehearted self and being 100% you, because that's what you need to do in a relationship. You need to be 100%. You don't need to portray to be something that you're not. You don't need to act like you're this and then you're actually this, because that ain't gonna do nothing but create resentment, right? And resentment is a big devastator to any relationship. So just be your 100% self, but don't hurt yourself. That's what I'm saying. You can't. You got to understand when. It's all about time, and that's where I was trying to go. I just wanted to see if I heard that answer. Like timing is the biggest thing. When you give yourself 100% married version, because you have to. If like you feel like you're like, just like Q said, when you get in that cohabitant stage, of course you want to be all in, because at that point, like, I'm not living with you just to be playing around playing house. Like,
Right.
nah, we're not doing that. We're supposed to be building at this point. So Let's build. Show me what you have to offer. Here's what I have to offer. Let's communicate. Let's build on that compassion because loyalty, trust, communication is the biggest thing outside of loyalty, and then companionship. Because if that's not your best friend, like it's got to be your best friend. That's what I consider my
The
wife.
thing, but you know something too. Like I think that we have a lot of expectations on the top end of relationships, and the thing is that there's a growing process within relationships that like you can grow, and I think that that's why like if you looked at why like I ain't gonna say why the older joints work without or older relationships work. What I'll say is that there should be an understanding that with with any relationship comes growth.
Facts.
So you can grow to actually communicate with each other.
Correct.
Like I think that we're looking for this idea of a perfect partner prior to when first off like that first we should stop thinking perfection or this scenario where things are going to be just like going to
Fairy
coast
tale
and
shit.
yeah we have to completely eliminate any thought of that when
Prince
you sit there
Charming
and
shit.
start talking about a long term relationship you have to understand that at the end of the day all of this is growth. Like you can see, because the thing is that let's say that you and your old lady talk about marriage, or your girlfriend, y'all talk about marriage a lot, and she could literally. The thing is that she could literally present herself as a wife the entire time, and then once the goal is met, now I can be comfortable.
Right.
And so the thing is that, or him, he could be trying to, you know what I mean, project this idea, and then once you know what I mean, once you become married, then he'll become more stagnant. You know what I mean? So what I'll say is that like we have to humanize relationships
Facts.
because the idea is these things that sound good on paper, they just paper. It's like you know what I mean. That's not what life is like. It's literally a continuous growing, continuous uphill, downhill. Like you're not gonna get to a point to where your relationship is just, oh, we're peachy now, and
Right.
we'll just be peachy because we have good communication now, and we've checked the boxes on the paper, and then now we're gonna be great partners, and that's not good. That's not reality of long term relationships, and we have to understand that because you're more apt to leave
Right.
if you don't understand that that is the reality. That is the human experience.
That's why I said companionship because like outside of all that, because you said nothing but facts in my eyes, you know. But outside of all that, what do you have? Outside of the house, outside of the bedroom, outside of the if you got kids, I ain't even got kids, you know. Outside of all of that, like what do you have between you and that other person, your significant other? Like if you don't have that companionship, that's super important. Like especially in a lifelong commitment. Like you want it to be that your friend, you know, you want to go out and do stuff like just on some normal, like it's just natural, not forced, like making like where you have to think, okay, let me go take my girl on a date.
Yeah, but see, the thing is that when I'm only point that I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go after this. I'm gonna just say this, and it's just this is the thing that we have to make sure we understand is that even if she's this whole idea of companionship, we use these words and these things sound good. The thing is that I'm not saying that it's a negative.
Right.
What I'm saying is that you're gonna not like her as well.
Facts.
She's gonna not like you as well.
Yeah.
So it's literally that decision to continuously work on it. That I'm going to stay.
Even when y'all not companions.
Even when you don't like,
even
you
when
can
you're not
literally not
compatible.
like the person and not you. The people say like communication is the
choose
key.
that
Well, I ain't gonna go.
loyalty.
We're gonna talk about
But
communication
why
a little
would
bit
you want
later.
to marry somebody that you don't like?
But
Because
that
shit got ebbs and flows. Like I mean,
exactly.
I don't
Be
always
ready
like I
for
don't
it. Be
always
ready
like
for it.
I don't always like everybody every single time. But there's certain people I got respect for. Like think about
100.
your mama or your
Yeah.
daddy. Like you don't always like them,
and that's
but
what real
there's
love
always
is.
that level of respect for them.
But I think that's what it comes when you need to change the narrative because you need to like the person that you're with.
But you ain't gonna always like them. That's
You
the
not
thing.
and not
I
100
think y'all
percent of
just
the
using
time.
different words, but
Hey, but
everybody understands what everybody's trying to say.
Yeah.
Like we get caught up on like the idea of like and like
Correct.
how you're meaning it and difference in how you're saying. I think that and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like you're saying that there is a baseline of who that person in the essence of them is that you should fuck with. You might not like enjoy them all the time.
Correct. That's
But them
natural.
at the who at the bottom of who they are,
You
like
gotta love them.
that would should be like a baseline of it.
Correct.
But I think that I like to blend conversations and shit. So last week we had a really good conversation. And we was kind of speaking about averages, as it pertained to like what average relationships look like and the dynamic between men and women. This was Rail's uh conversation last week where he was speaking to the notion that in today's time and just the way it's set up and statistics back it up that in major cities, women are out earning men today, right? That's just a reality of how it works. And it just is what it is.
On average.
Yeah, on average. So to me, I thought that kind of sparked my mind a little bit because if that's just the reality of it, right? And that's what it looks like today. I think that means a couple things, but it means something for men as well. And so my question for the day, I'll frame it like this: when dating the average woman, what do you think that are some prerequisites that men should bring to the table outside of just your dollar? Because of at this point in time, we understand that the dollar is not specifically the only thing of value. Because of at this time, women are making more than the average guy. Before y'all answer, I think that we had some really interesting commentary over this week that hits close to this topic. Well, we have Ebony Williams, we got Ayanla Van Zant, and they kind of went into like a question that, or they had commentary that really resonated with this topic.
And some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society.
When some of us, quite frank.
All right. So, yeah. No, I think that to me, that spoke a lot to what your statement was last week, where, you know, like women that are of means understanding how to adjust what they're looking for, where, again, like the average guy, or the majority of guys in general aren't specifically going to be this high value man that's able to do X, Y, and Z. But what actual qualities and characteristics are you really looking for when it comes down to a man? As we said earlier, pre-show, like a lot of times guys, we get caught up in like the big ass fat titties. Well, are you looking at the meat of who she is? Like what are the characteristics past that you actually are looking for and like are going to be valuable when y'all go through thick and thin? So I pose the question again. I just throw it back up. As men, what do you think that in today's time, what we understand of like the average quote unquote modern woman, whatever you want to say, should be prerequisites that we bring to the table? With like the idea that stability on a basic sense is an important one. Johnny.
Well, I'll say, like I always got this 5-point thing when it comes to like how to make a woman happy.
Okay.
Provide, that's one of them. So we're taking that one off because this the woman we talking about, she's able to provide at a similar level. So you can't provide or
provide probably just looks like stability.
But you can't you can't provide more than she's also able to provide. So that's not like something you're bringing to the table. That's just a match. Protect. I got a bus driver joke. I don't know if y'all seen that motherfucking bus driver that hit that chick.
Oh, that uppercut. Ooh, she spit on, bruh.
A bus driver can protect your ass.
You seen the joint where it knocked the... You see what it...
got an uppercut. You talking about bus drivers can't protect. I don't know. That uppercut be nasty.
You seen the joint where they knocked the Mario coins out of... Bruh. God damn.
That's just a joke, though.
Go ahead.
Facetious, but being able to protect, I think that's something like in modern day relationships as a man, that's something you can be able to provide. Because I don't care how manly a woman or whatever she thinks she is. Somebody can kick in that front door, and we both upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
One of us going down there to go handle that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know if I'm up there, I know I'm always every single time 100%. I'm gonna be the one that go down there and handle that. So protection, I think that's one. Being able to, you talked about intellect. And I think that goes both ways. Being able to teach a woman something. If you can't teach a woman nothing, why is she fucking? I think that's something to be able to provide. That's something I pride myself on. Being able to make a woman laugh. We talk about that companionship. Being able to make a woman laugh. That goes to understanding the way each other's think. If I know it's funny to you, you know it's funny to me. We have a deeper, understanding. Then it comes to sexual satisfaction. You gotta be able to make that woman, she gotta get there. If you can't, if you can't do those things, and then for traditional relationships, provide is the icing on the cake. But even if you take that icing away, it's still a cake. There's still a cake. You still got all that other stuff, the flour. I ain't no baker, but I don't know what all go into a cake. But I know, to provide, that's the icing. But there's all that other shit that come into, making that shit. I pride myself on. Like if I'm with a woman and she can't learn nothing from me, I'm gonna feel inadequate. Or if I can't, if I can't make her laugh, I'm gonna feel inadequate. If you can't make a woman bust, you gonna feel inadequate. So there's all these other things outside of money.
Yeah. And what I will say, one of the more common. So I asked this question to a lot of women this week, but one thing you said that was one of the major responses is somebody that can teach me something. I think that's something that I did see that was of high want from women when it came to like women that had decent jobs, good jobs, was able to kind of like they was gonna be in a position where like they probably was gonna be putting something on the table as well.
That's free. That's free game, fellas. Like if you can't pull that woman any other way, hey, act smart.
Yeah.
And try to,
don't act smart.
Don't act smart.
Actually,
be smart for sure.
Not everybody can be smart.
Well, then do need no. You
can be smart.
I'm giving advice that everybody.
I disagree, bro.
For everybody,
go and read.
Act smart.
You can
if
figure
you
it
be
out.
Smart, be smart. If you can't be smart, act smart.
All right, so we're gonna go real quick into this, but I think that there is so many different ways that you can be smart.
For sure.
And so like we're not just talking about. Can you remember a bunch of philosophy? Can you regurgitate some words and shit
That's
like
true.
that?
That's true.
That's true, bro. If you could pick up an instrument and show a woman some shit, there's a certain level of intellectualness that comes with
creativity.
If you can, I don't want to go down like a bunch of like low hanging fruit, different little things, but I think everybody has something that they are gifted at. And like you have an area of expertise in some way or somewhere where like you can be interested enough to gain some level.
That everybody is genius at something.
Right.
And so I guess for me, the funny thing is that I think that it would be very constructive for, you said, an average woman. Well, first I think it's constructive for both of us to understand that we are average. So I think that is very constructive for us to understand that we both. I'm an average earner. I'm an average guy. You're an average woman, average earner, however you want to look at it. And I think that'd be a baseline to start. But I also think that, in your question is, what are the attributes of the guy that will be able to lead outside of finances?
Yeah, what are some things that prerequisites that a man should bring to the table outside of just
money,
your wallet?
Yeah,
because likely both people are going to be working.
Yeah, so I would say that one of the main prerequisites that I think that a woman should look for is he leading in his life? Is he leading in his life? And that is apparent. Because if he's leading in his life, there are some certain things some boxes that he checks as a leader for himself. And there are some things that he does prior to meeting you that he looks to be a leader. And so once you see these things, then he can be respected as a leader, and you're actually more apt to allow him to lead because he's already established certain things. You know what I mean? So that's going to be the first thing I'd say. And the next thing, I guess, in order to lead, I would say that there's a level of vulnerability that he also has to. You have to. He has to be willing to, because the thing is, I think that there's a guy with the level of confidence. It takes a level of confidence to be vulnerable. It takes a level of confidence to be vulnerable. So the level of vulnerability he allows himself to project, that is another thing that I think that you should look at to know whether or not he's able to be a leader or not.
Confidence in self too.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think just vulnerability as a man, to be vulnerable takes confidence. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you don't feel like I'm weakening myself by you knowing that I am such and such. You know what I mean? It doesn't take anything away from my ability to lead for you to know that I'm struggling in this area.
Well, that's self confidence, because there's a lot of guys that put their confidence in the things that they have.
Yes.
And those guys ain't able to be vulnerable because they're not confident in who they are.
And I don't think it's effective leadership.
That are confident in like the money that they have, and the things and their talents and what they're able to do. If you're a basketball player, there's a lot of guys that I'm a baller. They're confident in that. The moment they hit 35 and they can't ball no more, you see a lot of these guys, they lose their confidence because they're not confident in themselves. That's you got to have that self confidence in order to be vulnerable.
Agree. And there's another thing that, like, you have to, in order for my opinion, in order for a woman to allow a man to lead, she also has to see how he deals with trials. Because his ability to deal with trial, is where you can see if he's a leader or not. Because when that thing comes about in his personal life, along with himself, even if you're not even a part of it, let's say that y'all, you know what I mean, y'all are just talking. The ability for him to say that this happened, and so I'm gonna be vulnerable and tell you that this happened to me and it set me back. But then also to see the way in which I handle that scenario.
See how it bounces.
So are you saying that a man should bring vulnerability to the table? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that he should not necessarily. I don't want to think like it's
confidence.
It's the confidence that allows him to be vulnerable. It's a level of confidence that allows you to be vulnerable. So I would say that, yeah, I guess he should bring a level of vulnerability, but also with that vulnerability, he should also show that he has the ability to overcome that, to overcome whatever that thing is that he's being vulnerable about. So, like, he took a hit to his credit, or he took a hit financially, he took a hit, his mom, something emotional, whatever that emotional thing is, he has to have the ability to logically think himself out of that place.
So you're telling me, all right, so bring vulnerability to the table. No, keep going.
And
I think it's more confidence though.
It's more of let's say
the confidence. And so also, I guess,
stick
as
through
I'm
it
listening to me, it sounds like you're speaking to women what to look for in men. I want you more so to speak to men and what they should be doing.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. That is more what I was like, kind of, when I got down to that part. That was more of like what women should look for in a man. And you said, what should a man do
or bring to the table outside of your wallet in today's time?
Oh, yeah, and then another one, what Jonny said, or what you said, the ability to being an intellectual at some capacity, to be able to teach the woman something. I would say, in my opinion, I would say it should be something more, something that provides a level of productivity to the unit. You know what I mean? It's different. You're playing an instrument, and you can show her that you can play an instrument, and that's an enticing thing, but that's not something that is going to. You know what I mean? In my opinion, for me, it would be something like my ability to help you build, or I understand how credit works, or I understand how banking works, or I understand how home ownership works.
Put a band together. Like if you play an instrument, say she played trombone or whatever, or trumpet or whatever. But I could put a band together.
Whatever it is that you're going to find as your expertise, or something that you can actually teach, it needs to be fruitful, is what I'm saying. It needs to be able to produce fruit. And if it can't produce fruit, then, I don't know how long she'll value said thing. So you should probably, whatever it is that you need to be able to teach her, it has to be something that can produce fruit. And go ahead. Like you on the ropes about it. What's up?
Well, I mean, if we talking about women that are already bringing a bunch to the table, I don't know how much they worried about their fruit though.
Yeah, but see, the
Because
thing
we
is
talking
that
about a woman. Say we talking about a woman that's making 100K.
yeah, but just because you're making 100K, you know the average person that's making 100K is still living check to check.
Yeah, but I'm talking about that woman. She probably don't,
Over average, actually,
but
it's
she
like
probably don't care.
68%.
But if I'm making 100K, she making 100K.
Mm-hmm.
I know how to play guitar. She probably don't care if I'm making money by playing guitar. I think she probably just likes the fact that I'm able to, that I'm creative enough to learn how to play guitar. I don't think the fruit. When we're talking about these type of women, as far as with bringing women that are also bringing something to the table.
Well, I mean, but we also said average woman, so the average woman is not earning 100K either. Average is still about 55. It said like for between 45 and 55 is like pretty much the average. So the average woman, it say at the end of the day, like, and I think that the average woman, if you, even though you're not presenting finances as your thing, you should still know how to manipulate finances to be fruitful. So that's I think
women want you to be stable for sure. That's definitely
no. I'm talking about like in the level of where you can even if she's making 45, 55. Most that what's the average credit score is like.
We're talking about women that making more than you or just as much as you.
No, he was just saying an average woman.
Well, I guess
right?
I think that we're saying, aren't we saying the average woman is making more than the average man right now? So if we take that into consideration, that's all I was saying. I don't know where y'all was at.
So I was just saying. So when we say the average woman makes more than the average man, we're not talking about the 1% of women. We're talking about the average woman as well, though, because the average woman earns more than the average man, but we're still talking about those two average people.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I was saying. So like, just because you make 45, 55,000 doesn't mean that you know what to do with that.
I see what you're saying.
So the ability to bring something to the table that you're providing fruit in how she should
I see what you're saying.
Move that money or how to make
Are you saying
that
like you
more
should bring
fruitful.
fruit to the table, or are you saying that you should specifically be versed in financial management?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The latter.
So all right, so guys,
so if there's what I was saying is that whatever you bring to the table, it should be able to produce fruit. As far as your whatever your what is it your whatever she's what is it you teaching her whatever it is that you're going to be trying to teach her, which we agreed that like she should be able to learn from you.
You're talking about bringing something extra. Like I bring this much is what I make a year, and then I got this side hustle. Like I'm good at this, and it's
no.
bringing in money too.
No, I'm just going. What I'm saying is teaching. Whatever it is that you're teaching, it should be something that is fruitful. Would it be something that if she wants to get deeper into her religion, maybe that if she's religious and you're further in that, you need to be bringing something that's going to be fruitful to her. Okay, is what I'm saying. It doesn't necessarily, but it
have to be money.
It doesn't have to be money, but it has to be something that is fruitful. Is what I'm saying.
That's where I got I thought okay.
Okay, and that's why I'll leave mine at.
Okay. I like that question. I got a couple of points now. Definitely intellect. I'm just gonna really quick piggyback off of everybody. I agree with everybody's statements on intellect. A woman don't want no dumb nigga. You know, they want a man with some substance and know what they're gonna do and how to lead. But outside of that, we ain't talking about finances. What I'm gonna first say is self control.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Self control because we all know how we are, especially as black men. It's gonna lead me to my next question, so I'm not gonna go there yet.
Nah, you preaching.
As black men, we go through so much, man. In the household, everybody has their own individual stories. We ain't got to go into detail about that type of stuff. But if you have no self control, how can you lead a household?
Can't do it.
You know,
leading man.
And that's a long conversation right there. I don't even want to get. I mean, we can.
Oh, no, that's another one we can get unpack it. After we finish this one.
Hey, I'm gonna say even if we don't do it this show. Yeah, that's probably something we're gonna come back and touch on.
And the thing is,
Willie he been throwing out seeds.
How do you grow from your mistakes?
Yep.
Like it's a lot of things that real women want. We ain't talking about little girls. We talking about wives.
There you go.
You know. So how a wife want a man to grow from their mistakes? They want to see growth because they know we gonna fuck up. They know we're gonna make mistakes, just like we know they're gonna make mistakes. We're all human, right?
They want to see you. They want to see how that shine come
You
after
know,
the fuck
so
up.
we want to see how we can mature into our own, light. I guess I can say.
Yeah.
So I don't want to stay too long on it, but self control, growth, vulnerability. I want to touch on that. Women want to be naked. Women want to be naked in front of you.
Yep. And that's metaphorical and literal.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's
Yep.
that means
I
a lot.
agree with
You
that.
know, and
Yep.
y'all touched on all those points pretty much. Women want to be
Really
naked.
dropping beans right
You
now.
know,
I like that.
so if a woman don't feel naked, they're not going to be 100% for you. Period. If they can't be 100% themselves around you at all times, no matter what, if they don't feel judged, they feel like you're going to sit here and criticize them or look at them differently just because they may have a little flaw here and there or whatever. So you ain't it, my guy. That's just what it is. Like any woman wants to be naked with their significant other. And if you're not, if they don't feel naked, you ain't getting the butt right. And that's a whole nother subject to what you said about sex. If a woman don't feel naked, they ain't about to give it up right. You know,
Well, they ain't even gonna be pleased all the way.
that's what I
another
mean.
thing. A lot of women be like you mean, like, man, why this woman ain't all the way satisfied? It's because she ain't all the way comfortable with your ass.
Exactly.
And that's crazy. But
Yeah.
the idea, I like the metaphorical piece of the naked.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And the thing is that she has to feel like she can be naked in order for you to leave.
Mm-hmm.
In order for her to actually get naked, she has to see that you are a leader.
Right.
She got respect.
Or she should have to see that you are a leader.
You naked too, though.
She gonna love you for who you
gotta
are.
get naked too in front of that motherfucker.
But we spoke about vulnerability.
Yeah, vulnerability.
I ain't want to touch too much on it because I agreed on all y'all points when it comes to vulnerability.
And that was a bar.
That was a bar.
No, it was.
My last one is I would say fun and companionship, man. Because if y'all outside of the relationship, like we're not talking about finance. I done been in situations where a woman has made more money than me, and it's just accountability. Let me back up. Accountability. Let me back up. I forgot about that.
Talk about that.
If as a man, if you're not accountable,
yes, sir,
and you can't own yours, you just a fuck nigga. That's just keeping it straight, you know. Because if you can't sit here and say, "Hey, I made a mistake," what are you doing? You just out here playing reindeer games, like I like to call it. You know,
say the gaslighting.
You know, so if you can't be completely accountable and accept who you are, but that goes into growth, like I said. You know, accountability and growth, that ties in hand in hand. But accountability is big. You know, if you can't own yours and just show your woman like, hey, I made a mistake and I want to do differently, and mean that shit, not just say that shit. Lead with actions, guys, not with words.
That's a fact.
You know, because we can talk all day about what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this and this. We don't. Everybody pillow talk. You know, when you first holler at a little chick, hey, I'm gonna go goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you want to actually lead with that action. You know,
the dream starting off.
We don't sell dreams over here. Now we all about action. So yeah, that's a big fact. And fun though. Like, what are you gonna do outside of love?
Big.
How are you gonna build that compassion?
I use the word experience. But it's all kind of the exact same thing.
What you gonna do outside of love?
Like, especially as women get older, that's a piece that they do.
Because love ain't gonna do it.
At all.
Motherfucker, you can't tell when you're 60, be like, man, I used to love this motherfucker so much. Nah, y'all
right.
Man, we went
you want to have the memories that are
skydiving, cruises, all types of
whatever your thing is. Like, some people just like to laugh like a motherfucker. And you could just go back and like talk about them amazing, funny times. Whatever the experiences are, but being able to actually really supply those experiences are big. I think in general, most of y'all have touched on a lot of the things that I kind of seen in what my personal things are.
What is your answer?
Well, on top of a lot of what y'all said, I think that one thing that I did see, and I do believe this as well. I think that we take the idea of protect and provide, and we look at it inside like an older, antiquated way, where I think that it has evolved as well. And I think that, like, even if we take the idea of protect, right? And I seen this, and I think it was like 2 women wrote it, but I think that this is kind of like one thing that I did see that rang true, where protection is no longer just specifically physical. And I think that women do value that heavily as well. Where like in the past, like they wanted you to protect the house inside like a physical manner and whatever. Like reality, like that's not going to be the day-to-day issue per se.
Yeah, niggas got ring doorbells.
Right. But they do want you to be able to protect them physically, spiritually, emotionally,
psychologically,
mentally.
Yeah, in front of family, friends, whoever. Like these are like really big spaces to protect your woman in. And that's where the sphere of protection does lie. And I've seen that a lot where
to a lot of people drop the ball too.
Yeah. And I think that it hits close to like my next thing hits close to what Willie was just talking about. But it summed up this is the term that I talk to my son about a lot. And it's poise. So with him, I'm speaking to him from like a basketball standpoint. Like as I tell him, like you fuck up's gonna happen. You can miss shots. All this is gonna happen. But are you able to stay poised under the fire? Like whenever whatever the situation is, but like a certain level of poise, stoicism. I think that is really important. Another one that I heard was emotionally intelligent. And I think that is a major one. We can like go back and forth about how emotional that you should be, but as a man, you should be able to, in today's time, identify your emotions and what's triggering you and what's leading you to react in such specific ways. As a guy, listen, I ain't gonna like I said, we ain't gotta go back and forth on how like you should like express that and like should you be this version of whatever. I mean, here on the panel, sound like we agreed on a certain level of vulnerability. But in general, just being able to identify why your actions and things are what they are, I think that's important, Johnny.
I was just gonna say, sometimes emotional intelligence is just as simple as, "Hey, shorty, I was mad when I talked to you earlier, and I said X, Y, and Z. I ain't really mean that. I apologize. I was just in a bad place." Sometimes that's all like emotional intelligence.
Accountability.
Sometimes that's all it is. Sometimes it ain't like this big old like falling on the sword, like jumping on a grenade type thing where guys we think it's like this super like crying.
Yeah, we get caught up inside like the big
the emotional
the big
word.
examples of it, and not like what real day-to-day shit.
Sometimes it's like, "Hey, shorty,
That's why I be like,
I
niggas just be saying
raised
words
my
a lot of
voice earlier because I was a little frustrated. I was annoyed because I was stressed out at work, and you just asked me a simple question, and I yelled at you, and you don't deserve it." Sometimes that's all it is. Like sometimes it ain't nothing more, nothing less. Sometimes that's all emotional
bro, like
intelligence
my space of like reflection is the shower, and sometimes when I get in the shower and I'm just sitting there, I'm be like, bro, like you ain't even feel like that. That was triggered from like something that happened at work, and I had a lot on my mind, and I just was like just lashing at the moment. But bro, like you can go back and take a step back and apologize inside that moment. But before we leave off here, I know we didn't talk a little bit about red pill. We talking about like what men should bring to the table, X, Y, Z. My guy Tone, he has pulled up Rollo Tomassi. He is one of the godfathers, I think they say, of the red pill space. And this went viral a little bit this week. This is what he said is the quickest path to becoming a high value man. I'd love to get y'all reaction really quickly.
I done read some of it. Bro, sound gay.
Bro, I was about to say the exact same thing.
Bro, like,
well, let me read it out real quick.
Hold on, read it out.
Yeah, read it out. Read it out.
Johnny,
Read it out.
Johnny,
and we don't judge them. Like I'm just saying.
but no, he's not gay. He's been married for like 30 years. But that goes to
That
another
don't
thing
mean
about the
he-
Don't mean that.
that goes to another thing about the
Okay.
internet. Well, it doesn't, but it goes close to what Jeremy was talking about earlier about the internet. I'll put it like that. But number one, do not get married.
Yeah.
Number two,
gay.
avoid family creation.
Hold on.
Number three,
He said don't have kids.
That nigga gay.
No,
Yeah,
Man, he said avoid family
Yeah.
creation.
What's the number
That
three?
sounds like don't have kids.
right?
That's what
but-
I just want to make
number
sure.
3 though.
Yeah. But I also say like again, Rollo Tomassi, he like you probably heard his book quoted a bunch of times, The Rational Male. And again, he's known as like one of the forefathers, the founders of the red pill space.
Got you.
And this is why I think that it's important to kind of like see how some of these niggas that people are basing a lot of their ideologies of fairy tales based off of. Number 3, vasectomy in your 20s.
God
Damn.
Number 4,
Keep reading.
lift consistently.
Oh, man.
Number 5, eliminate all sedations. Number 6, learn game and networking.
What game?
He's talking about like relationship game, like the fresh and fit shit.
Them niggas don't have no game.
They also don't.
Like how you gonna learn game from niggas who don't have game?
That's
maybe that's not what he was talking about.
No,
maybe
it literally
he wasn't talking about the
says
fresh
game.
and fit. No, I'm talking about he probably wasn't talking. He wasn't thinking of the fresh and fit guys when he said that.
all right. So Rollo's been on fresh and fit a bunch of times, and again, like so he's.
No, I'm just saying he still don't mean when he said learn game don't necessarily. He probably
Maybe
wasn't
not
talking
like the
about
fresh
them,
and
though.
fit version. I think that he's talking about like as we grew up, before any of us had money and shit like that in high school. The way that you was able to talk to a bunch of females was through your conversation, through your game.
Yeah, game.
And
Like real game. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, all right. So I guess maybe we was getting convoluted a little bit, but
You use an example of niggas that don't have game. So I'm
Then
pretty sure he's not saying that.
not
do
all
that.
right, so I get what you're saying.
Okay, go ahead.
Number 7, play to your strengths, build wealth. And 8 is resist easing up on your focus. This went viral earlier this
And
week.
you say he's married.
Yeah, he's married for maybe like 20 years, 25 years,
So
something
who?
like. No, maybe it's like 27. It's his wife. I don't
Who
know.
is he
I don't want to
married?
play the gay game.
Are they
Like,
happily married? No, I'm saying is he happily married to her?
I know that he's married. His wife don't come on like the thing, so it's
Because
hard for me to.
Because the motherfucker could be going through. He could be talking all of this.
Let's talk about what he said, not just like trying to attack him.
I don't like what he said neither.
No, a couple
Right, that's
of
what
them,
I'm
a couple
saying.
of them
No,
were.
the
A
last
couple of
two
them
was-
were actually solid.
Yeah, especially the last 2. Play to your strengths, build wealth, resist easing up on your focus. Those are really good ones, I think.
Yeah, but he was on some other
the
stuff
other
too.
ones.
When he said,
And again, it's
Vasectomy in your
the
20s?
quickest
Yeah,
path
that
to
right
build
there
becoming
shit.
a high value man.
because he's literally saying don't have
avoid
kids.
family creation.
Yeah, no, you have. See, I'm not on the whole don't have kids, John. Because I think that every man should experience the love that come with that. There's a different type of love that comes with children.
Even
that I
saying
feel like
that-
every man should experience.
Even saying that, it's like he insinuates that fathers are low value
I
men.
don't know. Like I used to talk about game when I was in 6th grade.
And you know something
As
else
a
I thought
grown
about?
man, I've never said the word, bro. I got game.
Yeah, nah, niggas don't use
Like
that.
when that was some 6th grade middle school shit.
for
I've
sure.
never in the last 20 years been like, man, I got game, bro. But just to even
I feel
refer.
like niggas that got game still. Those be the fuck niggas.
Yeah, nah. And you know something, like as I continue to
Shit
hear
don't be game,
them continue to define this high value men thing, it becomes less attractive. As you consistently listen to the way that they're defining it versus like what Kev at, like when Kevin Samuels was speaking about it in a different way than you're hearing. It's evolving a little bit further than what I was hearing Kevin Samuels say.
Nah, they're just become a douchebag.
Yeah, like it's literally like he didn't say anything about not having children and vasectomies, and he was never talking about that kind of stuff. So like, even if you look at how he was going and speaking with the women, he was asking them why they weren't married. So he wasn't dodging marriage. He wasn't telling dudes to dodge marriage. You see what I'm saying? So like, there's a little bit of a place to where I don't understand where the red pill thing, where it's actually going. What is the actual goal of this shit? It doesn't sound like a productive goal. Other than it's like a very selfish.
Seems like it's producing egotistical men.
It's been a year since bro died too. Rest in peace.
That's crazy.
I think this week,
A year?
Sometime this week was like the year anniversary.
Yeah, but I think that they like you can see that these like the dweebs are like going full force at this point. They really want to like not like women. It seems as though like they want to not like women or have any commitment to women. It's like, bro, what? Yeah, you're about gay. Like as you said, bro, you like really.
Well, a lot of it's like the idea of showing off for men. That's where like get a whole bunch of money, get a whole bunch of cars, a lot of jewelry, all that shit. And like
And a whole bunch
fuck
of
with
men
women,
don't think you're cool.
fuck women, but don't actually like ever garnish real relationships with them.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of that sounds like. It's
But
like,
what
it's
happens
more
when
so
you
showing off for
turn?
men.
What happens when you're 60 though?
That's a good question.
Hurt.
And it's interesting that a
No
lot of
longer.
niggas don't ask
I'm
themselves
so
that same question
lonely.
when it
Yeah.
comes down to like what Kevin Samuels asked the women. Like there's a double-edged sword to that whole question.
Yeah.
Like a lot of guys is like, yeah, nah, I'll get married when I'm 45. Fuck around, be
Making
55,
45,000.
and you still outside. And like there's even if you got a whole life, Fortune 5, whatever, like a nice little business, a nice little whatever, and you sitting all right, you still getting the dog and dying alone.
I don't know about that part.
That's a fact.
Cause it's still some stuff out here that's for sale.
Mm-hmm.
So you ain't
All right.
necessarily got to buy a dog and.
Oh no, all right, but to
There's
me
some
like
stuff
that
out
shit
here
is-
that's for
but if you're
sale.
saying that same thing about like with the woman, there's always a nigga that can like that's looking to be to mooch off a woman.
That shit-
There's a
that
broke
shit
nigga
get
that
lonely.
want
That shit
that's
get
down
lonely.
to be a what do they call it? A homeless sexual.
A homeless sexual.
Yeah, it's always
Hey.
it's always some niggas like let's not pretend like we don't know guys that again as we talked about earlier, they'll find them a BBW and grab that tax check.
Yeah.
Like
But
yeah.
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 It's you know what I mean. It's gonna be bums on both sides,
Right,
for
and that's what I'm
sure.
saying. But if we're talking about like yes, a nigga like if you want a female that's gonna be around to wait for you to die so that she can get that bag up off you, yeah, you could if you got the bag, yes, you can that can happen. But like actually inside some fulfillment, nah.
I agree.
Yeah, nah, that's
This
crazy.
is like a single man's list, pretty much. Because
Mhm.
me personally,
But why you don't ever want to have kids?
The
Why you
guys
advocate for like the vasectomy shit?
and
that
that's what I wanted to touch
And
on.
you
Though.
know like 30 like because it like quote unquote it can be reversed, but it's only a 30% chance of it.
That's what I was about to
I
say.
done heard of a person that had a reverse and it still didn't work.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's a 30% chance that it don't work.
Yeah.
Is he trying to insinuate though that fathers are not high value men? Like,
That's what I wanted to touch on. Like, this is a single man's list. Like, I don't even have no
Rollo,
kids, and
tap
I'm
in with us. Let
32.
us know.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
I want kids. That's something that like I have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's like a big passion for me. I want to be that father. That role model. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because as black men, fatherhood, and I appreciate y'all. You
Mhm.
and you and whoever else is fathers in here, because I know y'all good fathers and role models. I look up to y'all. One day, I want to pattern myself to be a good father, and learn the things I learned from my own life experiences
Mhm.
and give it to, a child that I'm blessed with one.
Yeah.
So that's what a high value man is to me. A high value man is somebody with substance and character and accountability. This is like a single man's list right here. So
Yeah, and then the funny thing is like it's crazy that we're even as we listen to, and I think this is on both sides, as we start to at least on social media, and I think that I want to consistently let the world know that these social media ideals and things, these are super cap.
Mhm.
These are super cap. Do not listen to these people about no relationships. Do not listen. Mud might tell you something about finances.
Jeremy that came on the internet side.
You can learn something about finances, about credit. You can learn me as far as these type of things. It is productive.
Listen to
But
the
when you
internet.
start talking about social interaction and things of this nature, you have to understand that there's a level of entertainment that goes into this.
Well, I think entertain panda bears.
Yeah,
But
but I mean,
Like a lot
pandering is
But there's
where
also a level of
Man, we all talking.
individuality. Like everybody's relationship is not gonna be like what they talk about on the radio. Their relationship at home is gonna be totally different. They can sit up there and say what they want.
but a lot of times our relationships are very similar. If you actually look at the totality of things, most
I
people
actually
are
do
so
agree.
much more
It's just not what
similar
niggas
than they
say.
are different. We're all like very much more similar. If you look at like men in general, we're much more similar than we are different. I believe like women, we're much
Man,
more similar than we are different. Yeah, just we're all much more similar than we are different. And when you start hearing these
It's hard
people
to put
talk
that in a
about,
relationship though.
it's when you start
Niggas is such a
listening to
big
these
variable.
people, and it's crazy because like I was looking at wish my A Black was up here, and he had posted. He was like, if Shorty Star if she just be posting memes and of like stuff that other people said, red flag.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I think that that's the same thing with like on either side. If you hear a person like overly regurgitating these soundbite things,
Well, you stuck in the echo chamber and you
yeah, like that is nothing healthy about that. Like your
you're
relationship is not gonna be
you're a
any,
fucking idiot.
and
Like,
you're too easily
call
because
it what it
we can
is.
all sit here and understand that like the algorithm gives you whatever it is you want to see. The algorithm literally gives you everything that you're saying while you're not on your phone, everything that you're watching while you're on your phone, everything that you're listening to. They're literally giving you over and over they're verifying your opinion for you. So for you to feel like for you to take really almost anything from social media and try to really implement that into your relationship or social experience with other people is probably very unproductive. If you're looking at the things that are like talked about at grand scale or regurgitated at grand scale,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably very unproductive when it comes down to social interaction.
Yeah. So I like to like my cap on it would be so fellas, all that red pill shit. Just look at like some of the end goals of which that they trying to get you to do. Y'all niggas trying to be not able to have kids in your 20s. Like the leaders of this shit, this is what they're saying. I don't know. So I've unintentionally started building a case over the past like 3 weeks, 4 weeks maybe.
Against the red pill.
Again, I've been pointing out some of the things that I think is a little just inconsistent per se,
What does number
especially
5
for
mean?
me.
I ain't know
All
these
I'm gonna
niggas.
say, all I'm gonna say,
Let me land this part real quick. Especially me as a black man, and what I believe is most beneficial for our community, which is strong families.
Mm-hmm.
And that's two parent households, in which we're raising really strong moral kids. It just is what it
that's
is.
how white people do it.
Well, we ain't going down. We had a meme for that early in the pre-show.
Okay.
This nigga here, but Johnny, where we at?
I'm gonna throw it. We got a guest today, so I'm gonna throw it to the guest, but I'm gonna put my cap on it too.
You go double cap
I'm
this
gonna
mother.
double cap this motherfucker. All I'm gonna say is, bro, before y'all fall into that red pill shit, man, go ahead and bust some cheeks down and really see
what it takes.
and see what it be like. Like
100
before y'all just go listen to my boy Rollo, go bust some cheeks down, and then go look at his list. And
What number 5 mean?
What's number 5?
Eliminate all sedations.
Maybe that's like your vices.
I don't know, bro. I'm just saying, bust some cheeks down. That's my cap. Bust some cheeks down, then go look at that list, and you can pick and choose and see what's what and what's what. But we got a guest here today. Bro been killing it so far.
I got another question for you.
I think bro got another question, so I'm gonna throw to my boy JUSWILL and see what else he got.
Okay. I'm gonna just talk to you before I ask my question real quick. So we know life be life, you know. Us as black men, I feel like we do a phenomenal job on an everyday basis dealing with what life brings us, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we are individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody has their own, you know, vices or differences or just attacks that we're dealing with personally. And it could be even some deep things that we just don't talk about to nobody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So how important is mental illness and depression to y'all? And how do you feel like you should treat it? Because us as black men, we don't handle that enough, and it's very important. As I'm learning in my own life, that depression is a silent killer, and if we don't handle it accordingly as a black man, now we know normal men. And I'm not being racist by saying a black man, but we know normal men have their own differences and their own situations that we deal with. But as a black man, we know what we deal with on a daily basis in our own homes, that everybody's story is different.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about it is individuality, but what is important when it comes to mental illness and depression? And
Yeah,
how do you
nah,
handle it?
a wonderful question. Wonderful question. Um, and I guess my only answer, right? The answer that I come up with, I won't say my only answer, but I would say that the thing that helps me, right, is to have a brotherhood, to have good men around you, to have like-minded men around you, men that you come to them and you talking about, what. Let's say it's something about your relationship. They want to know what you did, not what she did. They want to know the whole story. You know what I mean? The good men around you that actually have whatever's best for you at mind. Like they want what's best for you as you want what's best for them. Like men, just keep strong, good men around you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's kind of and I think also we have to have a level of again vulnerability. If you sit there and try to house all of this stuff and keep it all into for whatever you're trying to do for whatever reason you have, I think it's a defense mechanism. Honestly, as men we decide to like keep all of these things in and never talking to nobody about them, I think that's the defense mechanism that comes natural to the upbringing as black men. And I can't speak for any other man than black men because that's who all I am and that's what I'm around. So I think that the major key is to have men, like-minded men around you that you respect, and then also it's something that you we may have to grow into is to be vulnerable with these men because and that's something that I like literally hang my hat on. Like I hang my hat on being vulnerable because of the fact that it makes other people vulnerable, and we can have that human interaction.
Yeah.
We have to like social media and all of this stuff makes us less human. We're projecting things that aren't real. So we have enough going on inside of our homes and inside of our heads. Then you add social media to it,
That's what I'm talking
and it
about.
makes us even more lost.
Right.
So, in my opinion, I would say that again, keep strong men around you, and understand that being vulnerable is the key because you can't deal with it yourself. And even if you may have dealt with some things yourself, but it's just not healthy. It's not healthy. It's better to get it off.
Right.
It's better to get it off and not to feel like, oh, I'm telling my business and all of that. Man, if you got some good guys around you, it ain't. Where is it going?
Facts.
Where is it going? And ain't nobody judging nobody. We've been knowing each other 20 years around this mob. And I feel for guys that don't have that type of 10-year relationship. Um, the only thing I can say, man, and I'm pro therapy too. I've been going through therapy, bro, for probably it's been like on and off, like I could say like year spans. It's been like
Do you trust your therapist?
to me, like my therapist, I ain't never had a therapist really try to tell me anything. They just ask good questions. And they allow me to come to a resolution myself. And that's my experience with therapy. I ain't really had them tell me anything. They literally ask good questions, and then they ask me. It pretty much allows me to dive deeper into what it is I think about whatever that situation is. So I would say therapy, a strong brotherhood, and then the vulnerability because therapy ain't gonna work unless you vulnerable. So there's something that you have to practice and get good at. So like when you being vulnerable with your boys, and that allows you to go ahead and see this stranger, or even maybe it's the opposite. Being vulnerable with your therapist may allow you to be more vulnerable with your people around you. And so there's a level of vulnerability, and I ain't gonna take up too much time, but that's what I believe. It helps me because I know I'm a person that done had the prescriptions and all of this different stuff, and to unload and to actually speak about it and to have good people to speak about it with is literally my go-to.
Yeah. I guess. I think Rail he hit a lot of really good points. So more than anything, I'm gonna just build off of that. Where I think that in addition to what he said, this actually is like I'll use this like really current example. Um, and it'll branch off of something Willie he asked me earlier today when he was asking me about do I still kind of like write and do music and shit like that or whatever. And so was that last night or maybe it was 2 nights ago. It was 2 nights ago. Um, I was up and I was just what I mean I had heard a beat and then I was just writing some shit. Um, and it started off and each verse kind of like started framing like the framing of the verse was and I'm talking to myself like right. And I pattern it over the idea of self-talk. Because you talk to yourself in two different ways. There's the one where you're digging at yourself, and there's the one where you're like praising yourself and giving yourself like it's praise or whatnot. And so, like, I started that off, and I mean, I just look at it as an exercise now, where like I was, just starting to write. So then inside like rhyme, version, words type shit, or concepts, I was, starting to say some of these things that like, when you're doubting yourself or whatever. But which evolved itself, and I didn't complete either verse, but I said, let me throw it to the other side also, right? And so for me, I found myself breaking down in tears, where I got to the point where I told myself, "I'm proud of you."
Good fucking job.
Great job.
You know what I mean? And that hit me, and like I was like, "Damn."
That's beautiful.
And then like realize, damn, you don't even hear that a lot. Like but you didn't actually like sat and did some shit and made it out of these different little spaces and shit like that. And yeah, for me, I appreciate it. But yeah, for me, like being able to sit and like have that moment was really big. And I think that's a lot of times those aren't the things that we're able to do either. And that can lead to where you're at when you're talking about like the idea of like depression, overcoming, and like that whole situation. Is sometimes it's easy to dig into the negative self talk, but like that positive self talk is really important as well. And because sometimes you might not hear it from a bunch of people, but have you heard it from the person that means it the most? Who it means the most to? So yeah, Johnny.
That was beautiful.
No, that's
one of them ones.
That's actually, but that's actually what I'm gonna build on because it's crazy how the progression go. But that's what I want to build on. Like how you say you was on the self talk, negative, positive. When you say how as a black man I deal with mental health, it's one of the things. Like when I wake up, it's one of the things I do is like I try to find shit that I'm grateful for. Cause it's like I'm a black man in America. All right, we could all sit here and list all the shit that's against us, all the shit that's we fighting against. We all black men. A lot of this shit's the same. A lot of the shit we fighting against is the same system, the same shit. So, but we all individuals too. So I know it's a struggle. It's struggles. It's struggles you going through that I ain't going through. It's struggles I'm going through that you ain't going through. But at the same time, though, at the same time, when you wake up, or just anytime, you can choose to look at the negative or you can choose to look at the positive. It's all about perspective. And like if you choose to look at I'm black, I'm poor, like there's a whole bunch of I'm from this neighborhood, didn't have this education, I'm this. You could lean into all the shit that you not grateful for, all the shit that's holding you back. But like you could lean into I'm a creative. I'm smart. I got this gift. You know, there's a whole bunch of shit. Like if you wake up in the morning, just shit. Hell, even the fact that you woke up in the morning, bro. I go out there. It's better rain. I go out there and get rained on. I know a whole bunch of niggas out here that can't get rained on no more. And so that's even something I be grateful for. Like I be grateful to go through the shit sometimes because I know niggas like some good niggas like right now they can't go through the shit no more. So a lot of times like my mental, like my saneness come from just I choose to look at the positive. I choose to look at the shit that I'm grateful for. It ain't nothing more than that. Like loyalty. It's a choice. You can fucking go out here and look at I'm black and you can choose all the negative shit about being black and lean on that. And you'll be justified. And nobody will hate on it like cause you'll be justified cause it's true. But at the same time, we all got shit to be grateful for. We all we all got gifts. And when you wake up, you can choose to be like, man, I'm happy I woke up. I'm happy I can still think for myself. I'm happy I ain't got to listen to all them motherfuckers saying that shit. I can think for myself. I can make my own decision. Like, and it grow from that. I can walk. I get out of bed. Ah, man, my pit and pat, my legs still work. I know some niggas in wheelchairs. They got pop. Pit and pat ain't working for them no more.
Right.
So when it comes to being like it's all about it's all about perspective. I take that shit back. Used to do pictures, but that perspective shit is powerful, bro. Because I can take one picture over here. I can go to that side of the club and take a terrible ass picture, but it's all about where I choose to take my picture from. I can take the good picture over here, or I could go over there and take that trash ass picture with no light and all of that shit. So to me, when you talk about being black in America and going through all of that shit, man, it's all about your perspective. And I think we all got gifts, and we all got shit that we grateful for. Even and like you say, we all go through shit. Even if it's just the fact that you woke up,
That's a fact.
you could be grateful for that. Even if you lost everything, lose it all to I lose it all today. Wake up tomorrow. Shit, I woke up. And if you choose to look at your life like that, and in that lens and that frame, then that mental health shit, it's like and that's I ain't even gonna go there. We ain't gotta go too deep in it, but that's why some people don't look at it the same way. That's why some people have all the power and still be jumping off bridges and shooting. Like it's why some people do. Like we ain't even gotta get into that, but.
Yeah, it's not things based. That's the thing. Your happiness is not going to be things based. But I want to go back to what, and not to demean anything that you said. I 100% agree with everything you said. It was two pieces of what Q said. First off, he was writing. He was writing.
Creative space.
So and like you said, see, and that's another thing. See, like I think that it's something that's tough for us. I think in the black community, and I'll just say this for us because I think that other communities find a thing and they stick to a thing and they just go with that. I think in our community we are very, very multifaceted. So like I can play basketball, catch a football, write a song, dance, get good grades. Like you're literally so multifaceted that it's hard to know what you actually like.
But why we so much? But why we so multifaceted? It's because this shit that a lot of people do all of that shit, so they ain't got to deal with that real shit.
Yeah, but don't digress my point. Hold on, give me a second. Let me get this off. So it's what it comes down to is what I've noticed for myself as an adult man. Like we did band. You know what I mean? I played the drums. Then I started writing music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Started performing. Then I got into all different things. Like we played basketball in the hood growing up. Played football in the hood growing up. I loved all those things. It comes to a place where you have to find out what you actually like and love. Yeah. Because there's a retreat in that thing. There's a retreat in that thing that also helps with mental health. You know what I mean? Like he said, I started writing. Well, I know how my bro get down. There's a lot going on in his life, and he identifies that writing is a safe place for him, and he uses that place to push how he feels out, and to use even the duality that he used in the song. You know what I mean? In the writing, I can sit here and talk about all of this, the negative part, but then I got to pat myself on the back too because where I've come from. You know what I mean? Where I started and where I am now. And then just to think, I got so much more time ahead of me.
Where you going?
I got so much more time ahead of me. You also have to be present in the fact that there's still momentum moving forward. You still got time.
The whole bunch of
even
life.
if you're not
life left. We 30. Yeah. We all 30 something. We live to 60, 90. Well, imagine we all live to 90. That's 60 years worth of life left.
Right. Bro, even if from where you were and where you are now, you still aren't happy with it, which I don't think that you should definitely pat yourself on the back, which I don't think we do enough of. I know myself, I always meet a thing and then what's the next thing? Meet that thing and then what's the next thing? I never give myself time to actually appreciate. You gotta
give yourself them flowers.
Yeah, and that was gonna be the second thing that I was gonna go into. So not only did he go into the writing, then he also went into telling himself. It's almost like those affirmations. It was literal like when you start appreciating yourself, we have to do it more because the world doesn't give that to us. And I think that's why we
appreciate us.
Yeah, I think that's why we kind of get into these modes as well because as men, like even when a mug do tell you that was fire, you still don't let it stick. You kind of brush it. Right. You don't let it stick. Right. We don't let it stick, and it really gets to us very tough. Is that we don't let the compliment stick. We don't let the You know what I mean? Because we're on to the next thing, and it's like, okay, well, that was fire, but I got to get to this next place,
Right.
and so we have to allow those things to stick.
I just want to say real quick, let me chime in before we close out and move on to the next question. Um, there's so many things that depression can hit, and individuality is the biggest thing in this thing because everybody faces a different storm. Nobody's story is gonna be the same.
Right.
I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what you've been through. I don't know what you've been through. I mean, we close, so you can tell me, but I still can't feel it the way you felt it. So it's one thing to be accountable and take control over what you did to put yourself there. But it's another side to that story to where you can be over accountable and you take too much.
Agreed. Yep.
And beat yourself down too far.
Right.
That's compassion when you try to be too empathetic.
Exactly. That's why I was loving everything y'all was saying about positive affirmation. It's just building yourself up. My safe space is making music, playing my horn, creating beats. That's where I find myself placed. I sit there, make a beat, and put all my feelings into it. I may cry at the end of the joint. And it's okay to let that shit out, guys. Don't let nobody tell you what it is, because at the end of the day, your mental health is the most important thing, and you can't be stable or a leader if you don't have self control, like I said earlier. So mental health plays a part of that, especially in a relationship.
Huge part.
So just take the time, man. Do whatever it is for you to make yourself happy. Because if you're not happy, you can't make nobody else happy. But that's all I got. I got a lot more to say on it, but I love everything. I agree with a lot of things, but
Hey, we'll bring you back, bro.
Yeah, man.
I'd say that for sure.
We'll bring you back. If you got more on your chest, you can come back and get it on.
You already know
For sure.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you check back on the reoccurring guest list. So you're gonna be an additional character to the show.
Yes, sir.
No, I appreciate the fact that you was well rounded in like the scope of what you asked. Because I know I can speak for me. I definitely wasn't thinking you was gonna go there, but that's a bag that I think that we've all like shared vulnerable moments to. Like we're comfortable getting there. We don't always get there though, and so like you giving us that push to get back there. Like we haven't been in that space in a second.
We haven't. Yeah.
But it felt good.
It did feel good.
It
felt great.
Facts.
Love it.
That is facts.
Oh, man, it's important topics that everybody need to hear. So I appreciate y'all letting me, say my piece.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna be Johnny real quick. So before you,
Here we go.
I ain't gonna talk about your OnlyFans. For sure. Before you tap out, bro. What you got going on?
Man, I got a lot of things.
You Charlotte's favorite producer, bro. Stop playing with it.
Man, I'm trying to be at least.
You going on tour with somebody? What's happening? I'm trying to figure out what's happening.
Man, we gonna
see.
Follow me on Instagram and find out soon. I got some big things coming up. If the Lord's will.
Yeah.
Maybe back on tour with the 85 South show. That's coming up soon. Once I get some more information, I'll let everybody know. Definitely gigging. Definitely producing. So
instead of Wednesdays.
Yeah, well, every Wednesday downtown in Studio 229. My band Unpredictable Approach. We out there every Wednesday. It's an open mic night, honestly. So y'all too. Pull up.
I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen.
Hey, Steven don't be out there. Steven the Dream don't be out there. Oh, okay, yeah, that's my boy. Yeah.
I'm ready to get back into that little.
Oh, you trying?
My little bag.
Hey, like Steven the Dream, like if he out there, like this shit, it's gonna be emotion.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be motion.
It's gonna be emotion. Man.
Single niggas, y'all hear that?
But he a music guy. It has nothing to do with relationships.
Oh, I thought that's what you said. Motion, nigga. I'm thinking about like
talking about
something
music,
shaking my.
Bro. I'm talking about music, bro.
Remember the vibes. For
sure. Yeah. But again, I'd say much appreciation for you coming here.
For sure, brother.
Much love. I appreciate y'all for the invite. Anything I can do for y'all, you already know. We family. We go back like 4 flats on the Cadillac. So
with the white walls.
Exactly.
Before we tap, I will say so. Once upon a time, I did used to be a rapper. And Willie was inside
Free Will Experience.
Yeah, he was a piece of it. But what I loved about Willie, right, Willie, I used to say like he was Bobby Brown. Like we was like New Edition, but he was Bobby Brown.
That's the old me, man. That's the old me.
So Willie, like back in the day, and again, this is back in the day, so this is like 6 years, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Willie was the talent. Like Willie was talented. So if you was getting him latched on to the show, like he was tapped in, but Willie was gonna do what the fuck he wanted also, and he was like, all right, but it's Willie.
When you the talent, then you walk around that mug with your sacks dragging.
Yeah. See, the thing is, it's a level of humble.
We got rehearsed. Willie, it's just Willie.
I ain't gonna lie. One of the favorite pictures I ever took was with Willie.
Yeah, I still got that picture on my Instagram.
That's one of my favorite pictures.
Hey, it's a level of humbleness that came to me though, man. Anything can humble you, so don't ever walk around with a big head. Don't ever be arrogant. Don't ever, let your talent speak for yourself, not your words. Be a man of character and integrity. Like that's all I gotta say.
And before we tap all the way out, this is my last one. Because I think that this is interesting. I want to end on like a lighter note, where I know that you have this experience. So this is something that you vetted through, and I know this was a thing that I dealt with specifically during like my run as being an artist. Mm-hmm. How do you vet through the women that you talk to when you're a person of notoriety?
See, I'm very selective, so I don't care what I got.
Wait a second. He got tapped in.
I'm trying to get his attention.
I'm super selective when it comes to that, man. So I don't care what I got going on. I'm gonna be me regardless. Like,
but how you know, like, Shorty ain't out for like the clout of who you are, and more so for you as the person. That's specifically what
How you know Shorty ain't trying to meet Carlos?
I swear, hey, that's a 50-minute question, yo. That's like the best question you asked.
Oh no, I know that's why. Like, listen, if you've ever been in the space of notoriety, that be the thing right there.
It's tough, yo.
I know you a nigga that be in front.
Because I mean,
showing out.
You're gonna have hyper, for expressions. You're gonna have the women throwing the draws at you on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, just because they're throwing the draws on stage, don't mean them draws good. They may be dirty as crap.
Just be stinking.
Exactly.
Hey, can I piggyback on it?
Gonorrhea.
Can I piggyback on it? This is something I actually
my bad.
what I done
throw her draws on stage.
He said metaphorically, bro. We all
metaphorically. Something I've actually had a guy that I knew that was like literally hadn't not cheated in a relationship in his life, right?
That nigga got clout.
And
crazy.
And so what I helped them to understand is that once you prestige it, once you prestige the wood, you can feel the value in it. Hey. It's still valuable. Like you ain't but the fact that I already know that, you know what I mean, you feel the way you feel about it. That make me feel, you know what I mean? I ain't gotta do it. You know what I mean? It's a level up. Like the Godfather say, dick discipline.
Right.
It's a level of prestige. You have to look at that thing a different way. You have to go ahead and understand that the fact that I know that you throwing it,
I'm not gonna
that just makes me even more prestige because I'm actually, and I ain't trying to say you down here and I'm up here, but you. You know what I mean? I ain't got the.
But they say this dick ain't for free.
I'm telling you.
Hey,
like this shit.
It ain't common wood. This ain't common wood.
So to all y'all niggas, get your body counts down.
Get your body counts down.
Get them down.
Turn them jaws up.
Hey, that's the trick. Imagine you could turn down a nigga body count.
Man, I wish.
Bro, what?
Hey, if they produce a device that lets motherfuckers turn their body count down,
bro, what?
That motherfucker.
Hey, the ladies will try to be all
that's
over
what I was just thinking the whole time.
If you can do that, you think a whole nother conversation.
Oh yeah.
That's who need it.
The ladies.
The ladies that pay millions.
That's who need it. They got more.
Hey, well, I actually got this company. We'll talk about that. Hey, it's a company I got on. It's a.
You talking about them yoni eggs?
No, it's a Japanese or it's a Chinese company. I know the sim. I got a couple shares of them that
Instagram.
They pretty much doing that. Your boy snapped that pussy back. Your boy went from what's his name from Friday. He said that in his stand-up. Snap that pussy back. Mike Epps. Y'all niggas made me sit out there on the goddamn
I ain't know for a second, nigga.
Yeah, but they
You
got
said
that.
words. I had to digest.
But
Go ahead. My bad.
I think that was a fire show.
A nigga looked at Tone. My
I
bad.
think that
My
was a
bad,
fire
Time to
Tone.
show.
drop a
Hey,
pin.
JUSWILL, we appreciate you for pulling up.
Yes,
Appreciate,
sir.
Already,
we
man.
appreciate the
y'all,
questions.
man.
Nah,
Appreciate
For
it,
our
man.
questions, for our content.
Anytime, pull up.
We ain't even getting to this shit. We gonna have to, we gonna have to get in our shit later,
Yeah.
cause you were bringing that heat. So I want
Damn
to
sure
say, hey,
did.
appreciate you. We gonna see you out there on the road.
Already, man.
For sure.
For sure.
I want to say, appreciate y'all for tuning into the To Be Fair show.
Yep.
Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and
TikTok,
at
the
To
To
Be
Be
Fair
Fair
show.
Show.
Follow us on YouTube, the To Be Fair show. Tap into the pre-show, 1 p.m. every Sunday. The To Be Fair show pre-show. Fuck it, we'll do it live. I don't know what the name is. Fuck it, we'll do it live. But y'all hit the subscribe button. Comment below. Tell us what y'all think. Give us music recommendations. Hey, send us memes. Y'all wanna, y'all got a meme? Send it to us. I am your host, Jonny P.
Oh, here, real.
It's Q.
And
we out.
we got we ain't
Oh,
out
yeah,
yet.
we ain't out, my brother.
We ain't out yet. We got special guests. JUSWILL. Charlotte's favorite producer.
Yep.
He is in the building. And now we just out.